5. So I will call to order the March 5th, 2026 regular meeting of the Hendersonville City Council. We begin our meeting with a silent invocation for people to pray or meditate as they choose, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. So stand up. Join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right. We have two people who have signed up in person to speak. Is there anyone online seeking recognition to speak during general public comment?
No, Madam Mayor.
Okay. So if we could please limit the comments to about 5 minutes person or less, we would appreciate it. And we'll have you come to the center, to the microphone, and give your name and address for the clerk's record. First is Tom Appleby.
Hello, my name is Tom Appleby, P.O. Box 21, Bat Cave, North Carolina, 28710. I love numbers, and I have a 4-year degree in business economics. Regarding the 100,000-gallon sewage spill in the Mud Creek, at 1:47 on Friday, February 27th, I took 2 samples from the Mud Creek. It was 190 CFUs per 100 milliliters in the edge, and the legal limit by the EPA is 200 CFUs per 100 milliliters. And I think you need to do well testing downstream of anybody that has a well. And you might even want to close Jackson Park, because in Jackson's ditch, there's some gray water in Jackson's ditch. I haven't tested that, but I recommend that you do. And people downstream should have their wells tested, maybe even close Jackson Park. The Jackson ditch is cloudy. Would you wash your hands in this, or would you let your dog drink it? This is a sample from the Mud Creek. I'd love to give it to you if you want to take the sample. And who was the contract person that left the job? I'd like to know that. I worked in landscaping all my job, and if there was just somebody sitting in the truck watching that when the truck drove over the hose, then we wouldn't have had this problem. And we have a huge, this Mud Creek covers many, many miles. And that's all I'll say on that. It's a stinky situation. I love numbers, and I have a business economics degree. And in the bond referendum, I think you need to put it on the general election. You did get it to pass with 66.98% of the voters, but it was only 24.2% of them. So that comes out, if you do the math, about 36.234 secs. There are approximately 334 city employees in the city. The transportation bond should be voted on by the public. If it's voted on by the public, it should be done in the general election, not the primary. $10 million you're going to borrow. I've been to the bank to borrow money, and you're going to be borrowing over $5 million for their $10 million. And who's going to pay for that? Well, at my church, we just had a mortgage burning, and we paid off our debt. Okay? Our children who cannot vote will have to pay for this. And tearing up train tracks to make more bike paths just doesn't make economic sense. I'd like more water testing, and I'd like the bond question to be repeated in the general election. My name is Tom Appleby. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Appleby. Next is Brett Warner.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, City Council, and City staff. My name is Brett Werner. I reside at 706 Goldfinch Drive. I sit on the city's Board of Adjustment and work for the state of South Carolina. My comments this evening are my own and do not reflect those of my employer or my fellow board members. A property has become available on Woodcock Drive, and I urge the city to consider it for its land trust. By utilizing recent zoning updates, there is potential to erect up to 6 units. Some of those could be dedicated for affordable housing, market rate, and city housing, ideally for a police officer who takes his police car home at night. On a separate note regarding the suggested citywide speed limit reduction to 25 miles per hour to increase pedestrian and bicycle safety, I'd like to throw an idea out for consideration in lieu of lowering the speed limit citywide. Make the city hands-free and strategically reduce the speed limit where necessary. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Werner. Right. Council, you have an agenda. Is there anything you would like to have added to or removed from the agenda this evening? Or if not, a motion to approve?
Madam Mayor, I move that City Council approve the agenda as presented.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Not. Those in favor of approving the agenda as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. Ayes have it. We have our agenda. Consent agenda. Is there anything anyone would like to have moved from the consent agenda to the regular agenda to be discussed? Or if not, a motion to approve?
Madam Mayor, I move that City Council approve the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Not. Those in favor of approving this consent agenda say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Ayes have it. Motion carries, and we've taken care of that. All right. Presentations. First presentation is from the Environmental Sustainability Board Hendo Green Partnership Program. Jill?
Hi, thank you. My name is Jill Carter, and I am a member of the Environmental Sustainability Board. I'm here to share an initiative that our board has been working on for the past year called Hendo Green Partnership. This partnership really came from a goal of our boards, which is not only to support sustainable practices within the city government, but also to promote sustainability throughout our community. And one way that we are looking to do that is through a partnership with local businesses and organizations. First, we want to showcase these businesses and the sustainable practices that they are implementing, but we want to use that as a way to inspire others in our community to do sustainable practices of their own. And what does this look like? You can kind of think of it as a certification. You've seen, like LEED certification and other certifications throughout the community and larger community that promote sustainability. And this would be doing that, but for local businesses within Hendersonville and local organizations, not just businesses. And our process would start with an application. We've put together an application form where these organizations can talk about what they do, what their practice is, and then there's a list of sustainable practices where they can say, yes, we do this, yes, we do this. And then once they've submitted that application form, we first review for eligibility, which I'll talk about more in a moment, and then we confirm that they meet a threshold of points, which I'll also talk about more. We'll do a site visit to validate that they are doing these practices, and then we will take these businesses and organizations before our board and vote to approve them as Hendo Green partners. Those organizations and businesses that are considered Hendo Green partners will be promoted on our board's webpage. We will have a welcome kit, including a sticker that they can put in their window or on their business to show that they are a Hendo Green partner. We'll promote them at our Hendo Earth Fest, which is in April, and we'll also hopefully be able to promote them on the city's social media as well. And then we want this to be an ongoing process. We want to make sure that every Hendo Green partner is continuing to practice sustainable operations. And so every year we will check in with them, confirm they're still doing what they say they do. If they've added any new practices, we want to make sure we're acknowledging those as well. So for eligibility, like I said, our goal is really to support local businesses. We recognize that a lot of businesses in our community primarily operate or sell their goods, or they're an organization that primarily operates within city limits, but they might not be physically located here. So our definition of eligibility is any business or organization primarily operating in Hendersonville city limits that demonstrates sustainable practices. We welcome them to apply. So we've done some promotion of this partnership. We've gone to our farmers market. We have flyers that we've shared throughout the community. We've promoted it on social media. And so far, we've had 5 organizations apply, all of which meet our eligibility criteria. So from there, as I said, we have an application that they are asked to fill out. And in this application, we have 14 questions around the types of environmentally sustainable activities that they perform. You can think of this as the types of materials they use, their waste practices, what they do around energy and water usage. Those are the types of questions that we are asking in this form. In order to be considered a Hendo Green partner, these organizations must answer yes to at least 7 of these questions. That's kind of our minimum threshold. And again, all of the current applicants meet this threshold. In the future, we are considering looking at a tiered system of partners so that we can recognize the businesses and organizations that really go above and beyond. So you can think of this as like a gold, silver, bronze tiered system. And finally, our next steps, we're going to be presenting the current cohort of applicants at the next board meeting and hopefully voting to approve them. As I said, we'll promote them on our website and through the welcome packets. We'll showcase them at the Earth Fest next month. And then we want to continue promoting this partnership throughout the community, again, sharing it at the Earth Fest, at other city events, sharing those flyers in various places around. And that's our presentation.
Anyone have questions?
I do.
Yeah.
What is the anticipated cost to administer this program?
That is a great question. I don't have the exact budget number, but our cost is actually fairly low. The primary cost that we have incurred so far has been for the marketing materials, which is just a little paper brochure. I think we might have spent like $100 on printing those. And then we do have a few more $100 in our budget for like those stickers and those welcome packets as well.
And then who does the inspections?
So currently our subcommittee is a subcommittee of 1, that is me, doing these inspections, meeting with the organizations and confirming that they are implementing these practices that they talk about. But we are currently growing as a board. We're trying to fill out. We've been a little low on membership recently, so hopefully as we get more members, we'll be able to add more people to our subcommittee as well.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay.
Thanks, Jill.
All right. Well, look forward to seeing that list of green businesses. Thank you, Ms. Carter. All right. Chief, you think you're in charge of the next one?
Copy of the resolution
I don't have one.
for the firearm. Are we, maybe, yes.
Mayor, you want me to read this, or do you want to read
You can go ahead and read it.
Chief, you'll need to get near a mic. So, right.
it? Thank you, ma'am. Jennifer, you'll stand right here. Face your family and all the lovely people out here. I will read a resolution to recognize your distinguished service to the city of Hendersonville and awarding of your service sidearm. So whereas North Carolina General Statute 20-187.2 provides that retiring members of law enforcement agencies may receive, at the time of their retirement, the badge worn or carried by them during their service, and whereas North Carolina General Statutes 20-187.2 further provides that the governing body of the governing law enforcement agency may, at its discretion, award to a retiring member their service sidearm at a price determined by such governing body upon determining that the person receiving the weapon is not eligible to, is not ineligible to own, possess, or receive a firearm under the provisions of the state or federal law. And whereas the City of Hendersonville hereby recognizes 21 years and 5 months of distinguished service by Senior Police Officer Jennifer Lynn Drake for the City of Hendersonville and its residents. And whereas the City of Hendersonville wishes to recognize Officer Drake's service in a manner that is customary for persons retiring from distinguished law enforcement service. And now therefore be resolved by the City Council of the City of Hendersonville that the City of Hendersonville hereby awards Officer Jennifer Lynn Drake her service sidearm, Glock Model 45 9mm, serial number BLPU 695, for a cost of $1 as determined by in the policy for the granting of badges and service sidearms for sworn law enforcement officers as a token of appreciation for your many years of service and dedication to the City of Hendersonville and its residents, adopted by the City Council of the City of Hendersonville, North Carolina, on this 5th day of March, 2026.
Council, you've heard the resolution. Is there a motion?
Madam Mayor, I move that City Council approve the resolution to award retiring police officer Jennifer Drake with her badge and service sidearm for a cost of $1.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? If not, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And we're not even calling for the noes.
You have to give that to the city manager, so.
Yes, I want the dollar. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
So much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Enjoy your free time.
Jennifer, we gotta get pictures too.
Yeah.
I'll save
Brandy
all
is
the
there.
comments for her retirement celebrations.
Ah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say they look just as excited as you did.
No resemblance.
No, no.
No, we're not involved in this.
We're hiding. Thank you, Chief. And many thanks to Jennifer. All right, next we have MVP Quarterly and Annual.
Yes. Thank you. Mayor, Vogt, members of City Council, we're doing a little bit of catch-up on our MVPs tonight, but we have we have a number to give. We'll start with the April to June timeframe, that quarter in 2025. We had 8 submitted, and I'd like to ask Deborah Scholl to please come up, and if Brendan will come up as her department head. And if Meredith will bring the Mayor, do you want to come around, or you just want? I'm going to let Brendan, after I read it, present that to her. So, Deborah is in our engineering department. When the city's usual interpretation service provider was unavailable for a Patton Pool Whitmire Center input meeting, Deborah jumped in to attend and interpret for any attendees who preferred to provide their input in Spanish. Her willingness to share her skills to lower participation barriers embodies the city focus on providing great customer service to all our community members. Also, Deborah has a tremendous role in our permitting process and plan approval, so she stays busy. So, and appreciate the job. She's very quiet in her work, and so, but it does not go unnoticed. So, Deborah, congratulations and thank you for a job well done. Okay, I'd like for Chief Mahan to join us, and if Meredith will give him the certificate, please ask Kyle Nix to join us here. Kyle's going to get 2 awards tonight, but we'll give him the little one first. How about that? So Kyle is our quarterly MVP for July through September quarter. On the night of July 14th, 2025, officers were dispatched to a health and welfare check regarding a female and 2 small juveniles sleeping in front of a business. Officer Nix contacted multiple shelters and exhausted all available resources, attempting to help this family who found themselves in a crisis. Officer Nix made the decision to pay for a hotel room for the family out of his own pocket and made sure they had food and diapers and hygiene essentials. Kyle, very much appreciate what you do. Again, another quiet servant we have in our organization, but Kyle, appreciate what you do, and thank you very much. And Kyle, since you're a little lame, I would sit at the front row right there. So,
Yeah.
and then we'll invite your family up in a minute. And then for the October through December 2025, our service excellence team voted on 5 MVPs that were submitted, and we have a tandem of individuals who were recognized. Only one here tonight, so I'll ask. I guess Brent, since Adam's not here, if Brent will come up, and I'll invite Tracy from the water department. Chad Kidman is the other individual that was recognized, so I'll ask Brent to come up. The water department received a citizen call to compliment Tracy Fletcher and Chad Kinman for assisting her resolve a water quality concern at his residence. Tracy and Chad were both very professional and prompted their assessments in response to his issue. Now the water customer states that the water is back to perfect. Tracy works in the utility department, answers the phone, and makes sure he dispatches our folks out and about, and really deals with customers in a very professional and appropriate way. And I appreciate what you do, Tracy. And Chad is one of our meter technicians who's out in the field. So Tracy, great job. So Chief, if you'll come back up, and we'll ask Kyle and his family to come forward, please. So it's our distinct pleasure to present Kyle with the first ever Luann Welter Service Excellence MVP Award for his going above and beyond and helping the family in crisis and really putting himself and the community first, and we appreciate, put them first, and we appreciate the job that he did. So Kyle, congratulations on being our MVP of the year.
This is real too.
There's some, Mayor and Council, apparently there's some argument over who gets the plaque. I mean, whether HR keeps it, whether Kyle keeps it, whether the PD, so we're working on that right now.
All right. Dissension in the ranks. All right, thank you. Congratulations to all of our honorees, and thank you for the great face you put on the city of Hendersonville. All right, we have one public hearing this evening. It's an annexation, Signal Hill Townhomes. And who's, okay, Mr. Hayes.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, City Council. Yes, we have a petition for a contiguous annexation known as the Signal Hill Townhomes. The petitioner was John Kennard, and Herta G. Seuss Trust is the property owner. This is 8 properties that you can see in that map on the right-hand side of the corner, on the right-hand side of the screen, and it's approximately 13.73 acres. Here's the plat that has been provided, the annexation plat. I have a motion for approval and a motion for denial, and I can answer any questions you have.
Any questions for Mr. Hayes? Okay, thank you. Would the petitioner like to say anything? No? Okay.
Happy to answer questions.
Anyone have any questions? Okay. We'll go ahead. Madam Clerk, has this public hearing been advertised in accordance with general statutes?
Yes, Madam Mayor, it has.
We will open this public hearing. Is there anyone who wishes to speak? No one signed up here in person. Is anyone online seeking to speak?
No, Madam Mayor.
All right. Well, go ahead and close that public hearing. Council?
Madam Mayor, I move the City Council adopt an ordinance of the City of Hendersonville to annex the contiguous properties owned by Herta G. Seuss Trust, identified as pins 9579-07-6259, 9579-06-7975, 9579-06-5791, 9579-06-8507, 9579-06-8507, 9579-06-8308, and 9579-06-8117, finding that the standards established by the North Carolina General Statutes 160A-58 have been satisfied, and that the annexation is in the best interest of the city.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Not. Those in favor of the annexation say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Ayes have it. Motion carries. It's been taken care of. Thank you. All right, new business. USA 250th birthday. July 4th parade.
Yes, ma'am. Mayor, Vault, members of the City Council, just a brief update. Wanted the council to be aware that the mayor doesn't come to the manager often with priorities, but this was clearly a priority that was brought to the city manager by the mayor. So,
And it came to me from Bessie, so
yeah. So.
you do what Bessie says.
Well, I wanted to reassure the council that we were taking the 250th birthday of our country, our great country, very seriously. We're working on the July 4th parade. It will be, if you recall, or you may not recall, several years ago we asked the July 4th parade to start on the south end and go north, and it was a shorter route because of typically fewer entries, manpower, and it's a long day anyway. But this year we met with the folks with the Business and Merchants Association, and we're going to allow them to use the longer route, which is typically Christmas and Apple Festival. We're starting at the high school and coming through town with the idea that there'd be more entries, and I think they're trying to get the high school bands and some things to participate. We also are looking at doing a few things special around town, maybe some banners, flags. Stay tuned to that for the month of June and July to celebrate the 250th birthday and July 4th. And we will be working. There's a farmer's market that Saturday. Because of diversion of traffic, we may have to make some changes there, but I know our downtown team is working on that as it relates to the farmer's market. So just want to give you an update. Stay tuned. It's very much involved. Our staff, we're going to be meeting with the county. The county has an extended event that day on Main Street, and of course the fireworks will occur that night. So I think they have some live performances on the courthouse square. So it should be a really nice commemorative day.
Right, thank you. Hope all the council members will be here to ride in our float or truck or whatever it is.
I just heard the mayor ask. That's what I heard. So there you go.
Okay.
It better be a float too, because I heard that.
All right. Good news. GO bond update.
Madam Mayor, members of the City Council, as you all know, the election was on Tuesday, and our general obligation bond for transportation projects passed pretty substantially with around 68% of the vote. What we do from here is they will canvass through March 13th, and on your April 2nd meeting, you'll have a resolution to certify the results. At that point, we still have to get LGC approval, but once LGC approves it, that bond order essentially is finalized, and we can start drawing down the $10 million to invest in our roads.
And Mayor, I must say that I thank Brian for his leadership. He put together a great committee and our team, but it was under his leadership and his drive, so he gets all the credit for it. So he did
Team
a
effort,
great
John.
job.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you. We'll look forward to updates on that as we go along. Right, boards and committees, the Environmental Sustainability Board. We have, find it here. We have a number of applications for the at-large position. Anyone want to make a nomination?
Is there anything I need to know? Is there anything? It's all there.
Sorry. In the email, I didn't print a copy of it, though.
In the email.
That I sent to council with all their names and applications.
Oh, you
We
got
had
all
the
that.
list.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to nominate Joey Burnett to the Environmental Sustainability Board for the at-large position.
Okay, Joey Burnett has been nominated for an at-large position on the Environmental Sustainability Board. Are there further nominations? Not. Those in favor of Joey Burnett for the Environmental Sustainability Board, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Ayes have it, and he is now in that position. We have city positions, I guess, that are still available. So we need to be recruiting some city residents for those open positions. Like to get a full board if at all possible, since they're getting more active with, like the Green Initiative that was just presented earlier tonight. Okay. All right, city manager report.
Mayor Vogt, members of City Council, your contingency report for February of 2026 and adjustment report is included in your packet for your information for any funds that were used in accordance with your policy. And then secondly, mayor's memories for March. So remember, we're going 3 years into the, 3 years at a time. So March of 1999, and Mayor, I have to say, this was quite a meeting. The meeting did not start until 7 p.m. And I think I know why we've moved our time to 5:45. This meeting adjourned at 1:10 a.m. So it was quite a meeting. Lots of important business occurred, and I'll just kind of hit some of the highlights. I mean, it was it was a 6-hour meeting, so, yeah, this meeting, they renamed, or named, what is now the Whitmire Center. They named it in the memory and public service of Boyd's Whitmire Center, so it was March of 1999 that the name changed to the Whitmire Center. They had a public hearing regarding telecommunication towers. So cell towers were all the rage, if you remember, in 1999. And U.S. Cellular there must have been 7 or 8 towers approved across the city that night in the minutes, and lots of comments regarding that. They had the quasi-judicial public hearing for the construction of the Home Depot. So this is when Home Depot was approved in March of 1999. And that was quite a public hearing. It's 5 or 6 pages of minutes, 7 or 8 pages of minutes related to public comment for that. Mayor Volk at the time made the motion to approve, so she's solely responsible for Home Depot there. They had a public hearing regarding changing the membership of the city council from 5 to 6. There was some discussion about whether there needed to be a 6th member on the city council, and the mayor spoke up and said there was no interest in changing the charter, and so there was no action taken.
It was Fred.
Yeah. So when Mayor Volk speaks, everybody listens. So, and then there was they approved the financing for the previous Fire Station 1 was approved on that night in March of 1999. So they approved, and I was trying to see if I saw a dollar figure in here. I don't. So, but they approved the financing, the construction of the previous Fire Station 1. Like I said, I'm just getting started. That's only half of it, and lots of other things. A couple other things that night. There was a discussion, and we're having some internal discussions about changing traffic to reduce speed on Ash Street in Green Meadows. That's when those 3-way stops going down Ash Street were approved and installed. There was a resolution to officially accept a loan from the state revolving loan for the wastewater treatment plant. Get this, Brent, hold on. $12,750,000. Now we're asking to do some upgrades, and it's over $100 million. So, yeah. And then that's fine. And then again, like I said, they adjourned at 1:10 a.m. That night, that Thursday night. And then if that wasn't enough, they had a second meeting in March. They came back, much shorter meeting related to applying for federal drinking water funds, Clean Water Revolving Act, to make some improvements to this particular case. It was really a grant for $3 million where they repaired or replaced one of the reservoirs up on Ewart Hill. That was funded as part of that project. Also, this was when discussion began regarding, they had done a study to look at a new tank in Fletcher, which has been built in the last 5 years now. Also, there was discussion about building a new tank in Etowah, and they were top priorities in 1999, and we've probably got them done in 2020. So, wow. And then there was discussion about Highway 64 East, which would be your east side project there. So lots happened in the month of March in 1999. So that is my mayor's memories.
Thank you. Yeah, we had a few meetings that were extremely long.
Thank you for never keeping us here until 1 a.m.
Yeah. All right, council, anything anyone wants to bring up?
I just wanted to thank city staff, especially Brian and comms, but I know a lot of people have worked on it, but the overwhelming public support for the bond was, I think, a testament to the hard work of staff to motivate folks to get out and to get an understanding of the extremely technical language that was going to be on the ballot. So I'm so grateful for y'all doing that work of engaging people in that process.
Yep. All right, anything else? Not, then we are going into closed session.
Madam Mayor, I move that City Council enter closed session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A3 to consult with an attorney employed or retained by the public body in order to preserve the attorney-client privilege between the attorney and the public body.
Is there any discussion? Not. Those in favor of entering closed session say aye.
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 Those opposed say no. Ayes have it. Motion